In late 2023, just recently, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency chose 11 grant makers to essentially invest $600 million into climate action.
One of those 11 recipients chosen is Houston's Bullard Center for Environmental and Climate Justice at Texas Southern University. And this morning we have a very special guest, Dr. Robert Bullard. He's professor there and director as well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and congratulations as well. Talk a little bit about the Bullard Center.
Well, the Bullard Center is a university-based center at Texas Southern University, and that center is designed to assist, support communities that are dealing with environmental and climate issues. We provide technical assistance, we do research, and now we're going to be awarding grants, which is very different.
$600 million that you're going to start putting to use. How does this process work? And for people that are wondering, where is this money ultimately going to go to?
Well, the project is designed to identify organizations that are doing, nonprofits that are doing environmental justice work. For many years, a lot of those organizations have done great work, but have not had the resources to invest and to build staff and build capacity. And so this $50 million grant that the Bullard Center has at Texas Southern University will be used to identify those organizations and assist them in writing grants. We have organizations that are doing that, and supporting them getting the monies. And it's exciting. It's also challenging, and there's so many problems. $50 million might sound like a lot of money, but when you start looking at the organizations and the need, it can go quickly. Yeah.
Talk about how important it is to have this at TSU specifically.
Well, you know, I've been doing this work for the last 4 decades, and I started my work in 1976 in Houston. Came back in 2011, and the work that we did in Houston way back in the late 70s laid the foundation for the environmental justice movement. So it's important that our historically black college university, like Texas Southern University, that had a major role in developing this movement, that they receive resources that can assist and support those groups that we have been working with for decades.
Yeah, what are some of the challenges, new challenges today that maybe weren't around in the 70s when you started?
Well, I think the fact that climate change and the climate crisis will make worse many of the problems and the inequities and vulnerabilities that we didn't see, 30 years ago or 40 years ago. And so what we have to do is to build out and to strengthen those organizations that we know are, and communities that are on the front line of climate change, whether it's sea level rise, storms, flooding, heat, etc., and to make them more resilient. And we can work with them in partnership. We call it community model. Communities, university working together in partnerships, real partnerships, true partnerships. And in some cases, we still have partners that, when I was in Houston back in the 80s, 70s and 80s, we have partnerships that have lasted longer than marriages in some cases. We still have partners. There are new leaders.
All these years later.
All these years later.
It's a great relationship to have.
Yes.
And you're also known, I got to make sure I get it right, the father of environmental justice. That's quite an honor there. What does this grant mean for you?
Well, it means that what we started back in the 70s, and I've written 18 books over the last 40 years, and the idea of getting the information, collecting the facts, marrying those facts with action, and now resources. It means a lot that now we can really make a difference and hopefully make transformative changes. Communities that are on the front line of climate change, communities that are underrepresented when it comes to having those infrastructures that can make them much more resilient when we talk about these dangerous storms that roll in, or when it gets hot, and even when it gets cold. We used to plan for disasters June through November, but now it's a year-round issue because Winter Storm Uri hit us in February. So this is what our center is doing. This is what the resource is going to be used for, to assist in building climate resilient communities going forward.
And that's really, when you talk about climate resilient communities, that is every community on Earth?
Right.
Yes, everyone. There's no place to hide.
Right? There's nowhere to go. Where does your work take you then from here? This grant is a huge next step forward. Is there some bigger goal at the end of this that you're looking toward?
Yes, I serve on the White House Environmental Justice Advisory Council, and the administration has this Justice 40 initiative, which talks about targeting the benefits that would accrue from transition to a clean energy economy, the billions of dollars, in some cases trillions of benefits, making sure that 40% in this program, 40% of those benefits go to what's called disadvantaged communities. Again, these are the communities that historically have been left out and left behind. And so we're talking about housing, transportation, clean energy, dealing with food and water security, all those issues. When we call environmental justice, environment is everything, where we live, work, play, worship, learn, as well as the physical and natural world. So the Justice 40 initiative, and we call it righteous investments, whether it's the Inflation Reduction Act or whether it's the bipartisan infrastructure law. All these things now, we're talking about resources, and again, the resources are transformative. We've never had the kinds of dollars that can be arrayed toward solving these problems. And that's what our work is, solving problems and not running away from very huge challenges.
Yeah. And the need is great, and the work is great as well.
And the need is very important here.
That's right. Specifically in Houston, anything that we need to really be thinking about?
Well, I think Houston is the fourth largest city, and it's ground zero for a lot of the issues that we're talking about, for climate change, for transitioning to clean energy, for building resilience, for dealing with intergenerational mobilization. I tell people I'm a boomer, proud of it, still fighting, still standing. But millennials, Zoomers, and Gen Xers, they outnumber my generation. So making sure that we build into this whole idea, this new generation, passing the torch, and having them take it across the finish line. I'm excited about what's going on here in Houston and at Texas Southern University.
All right, Dr. Robert Bullard, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And it's so brilliant to hear your thoughts and all the work that you're doing as well. So thank you.
Thank you.